Living in Florida, along with the sunshine, beaches, and beauty, there's also the occasional threat from Mother Nature. Hurricane Irma was one of the biggest ever.
5.6 million people ordered to evacuate in Florida.
For people living in manufactured mobile home parks in South Florida, the evacuations were mandatory, and they were understandably nervous.
Our corporate office was communicating with some customers, but then our general managers were talking to their specific customers. And again, there was a high level of anxiety from the customers and really from the industry as a whole.
When we got the word that anyone in a manufactured home was forced to evacuate, we had no choice but to pack up and move. Massive fear about the house. We love this home.
Trying not to panic because we're in Florida, number one. Number two, I live in a manufactured home that we owned less than a year. You go through all the emotions of the worry, the fear. Are you going to have a place to live? What's going to happen after the storm? You start putting documents together.
Debbie and Al demolished their old mobile home built in 1977, and last year Nobility Prestige built them a new one.
My thought was, I mean, obviously I was scared, but my thought, and I think your thought was, well, this is going to be a big testimony to Nobility and what we purchased.
If the storm wasn't enough, many families and friends had their own concern about their manufactured homes.
We got the scare of our lives. Everyone that we talked to, there won't be anything left. It'll be a shambles when you get back, but we're praying for you and I'm sure you'll make it.
They're calling you, you need to leave, you need to get out of Florida, your home won't make it. You hear all those kinds of things. And the media, of course, does mandatory evacuations of certain areas with manufactured homes. So all that plays on to your emotions as a homeowner.
I have one son and he was concerned and he was glad I was evacuating, but he just said to me, how much faith do you have in this home? And I said, I have a lot of faith in it, Jay. I said, it's built like a regular home. I said, it's just a raised home.
Hurricane Irma hit South Florida as expected, causing widespread damage. And as the sun rose, homeowners were afraid of what they would come home to.
We come up a dirt road to get to our house because our house is set on 14 acres. And the first thing we see when we pull up the dirt road is a tree had fallen onto my boyfriend's truck. This is a huge oak tree. I break into tears thinking I don't want to look to my left up the road further to see if we have a house. We're creeping up the road and I look to the left and there's our house. And I have the Miley. So the Miley is standing there and not so much as a shingle. And I was amazed and grateful. But that attests to the way that they build their houses.
Wes and his wife pull up to see trees down too.
If it's done this to these massive 150-year-old oak trees, the people were going to be right. It's going to be in shambles. We pulled in, got out, took our flashlights, came into the house, and it was a glory hallelujah moment. Not a single thing had been moved. Nothing in the house had been disrupted at all. No glass breakage. The house was as solid as a rock. Not even a piece of siding had come off of this house. No shingles, no nothing.
For Debbie and Al, it was bittersweet. Their house also had no damage, but all around them, their neighbors, even right next door, many with older mobile homes, had lost everything.
Getting here was tough, but we just had to get here. We had to see our home. And for me, it was extremely emotional, because when you're in the midst of such destruction as you all have seen, and then to have your house be intact, it kind of, I don't know, it just broke my heart. My old house had maybe 3 or 4 straps on it, okay, holding it down, and 3 of them were broke. This house has 18, 20, and then it goes, then we've got things to go over the roof.
The wind load, and that's what we're talking about now with a storm, primarily is going to be the hurricane straps. We'll have straps that are connected to the home itself, and those straps are going to be put on anchors and they're going to be drilled down into the ground. And that's what keeps that house from moving, is those hurricane straps.
It was a similar story up north. An entire Nobility Homes community, Walden Woods South, went unscathed as Irma passed through the area.
He went out and no damage. No damage in this entire community, but little minor damage.
Hopefully this is the first step to changing that perception of manufactured homes. We need to have reality catch up with perception, and that means that whatever we're doing right now, we're 110 miles an hour, we're meeting those site-built wind load capacity guidelines.
Nobility built this home, and Nobility did an awesome job. I got underneath of the house and I saw the moorings that's connected. Nothing moved, nothing pulled out of the ground. The solid workmanship of this house is unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. I do believe it could withstand just about any storm.
I go back to being in business for almost 51 years in the state of Florida. You know, we're not a Georgia manufacturer, we're not an Alabama manufacturer, we're a Florida manufacturer. So if anybody gets the mobile home or manufactured home industry in the state of Florida, it's going to be Nobility and Prestige.
Now, what do friends and relatives say?
Unbelievable. Where did you buy your house?